Hello Renegades, 13U families. This will be the third video since this is our third tournament. I want to go over a number of things with everybody. First, I want to talk about last week's tournament and the results and a few different things from past weekend. So let's go to the first game. We lost 7-6. That was the game we played as if it was a Sunday. We really put our best foot forward as far as lineup and positional play, that sort of stuff, in order to try to win that game. We played it like a Sunday game. Unfortunately, we fell short 7-6. I will tell you, we did not play great, in my opinion. I think there was a number of mental mistakes and just a few errors here and there, and it cost us the game. The good news is we're not firing on all cylinders, and yet we hung with that team and lost by 1 run. Many of you may know that team went on the next day and won the tournament. I think their record is 13-14-1 for the year, so it's a good ball team. They outscored their opponents 35-11 on Sunday. So I do see us competing and beating them if we were to play them as early as this next weekend. We have a good team, and that was a good team. Unfortunately, fell short. The second game I can only describe as nothing but hot garbage. Probably the worst game that I've seen this group of boys play ever. I mean, throwing errors, catching errors, abysmal base running. Our hitting was just pathetic. And, you know, the coaches will take blame. I don't really know how to explain it other than every now and then you'll have a team that'll play to its competition. So we played, we didn't play great baseball the first game, but we did play pretty good. We played a pretty good team well. And then the second game, we played a poor team poorly. I sincerely believe if we played that team 10 times, we'd win 9 out of 10, and unfortunately the 1 out of 10 took place on Saturday. Fast forward to next morning, I had a long conversation with the boys about silver linings. You know, I believe God is good, and I believe that things happen for a reason sometimes, and that us being in the consolation bracket would show something positive. I didn't know what it was, and I told the boys that. But I now know what the silver lining was in losing both games on Saturday, and that was we played 3 teams on Sunday that middle of the road, if not bad, and we got our mojo back. Bats came alive. We had diving plays. In the first game, we had 3 double plays in 3 innings. I challenge you to find any AA team that can say the same thing for any game they've ever played. So it was a chance for us to play baseball and kind of get our groove back. You can do drills and stations and work fundamentals till you're blue in the face, but the reality is players get better playing baseball. That's why the major leagues have spring ball. I mean, it's practice can only take you so far. So I think those 3 games really are going to be a launching point for the rest of the fall ball season and eventually spring. Which brings us to this weekend's tournament. We have 2 games on Saturday night. We are playing 2 out of the top 4 teams out of the 16 based upon record. I don't think the teams are nearly as good as the team that we played first on Saturday, but they're pretty good ball clubs based upon their record at least. With that being said, we are going to play the first game on Saturday more like a Sunday game. So there may be some players sitting and people playing a different, not playing as much the second game. Especially if we win the first game, will be a Saturday development game. We'll be pitching different guys. We'll be putting people in different places, messing around with the lineup, that sort of stuff. And we're doing this, of course, to avoid a consolation bracket. I don't believe there is one, but at least this will give us a really good seed and set us up for a great day of baseball on Sunday. Finally, I want to talk about where the status of the team is as it relates to skill level, progression, that sort of stuff. Right now, based upon last Sunday, I believe everybody would agree that most of the players, our fundamentals look pretty good. Batting, hitting, fielding, throwing, catching, all that stuff looks where we would expect it to be at this time of year. Now it's time to focus more between the ears, the mental side of things. We do have a long ways to go in that regard. So I'll give you a few examples. Cutoff plays weren't exactly executed properly. Pitchers backing up throws, being in the right spot. It's really nuanced stuff, a lot of stuff that many of the people watching the game probably wouldn't know is taking place. It's really easy to focus on your player or where the baseball is, and you got to realize in baseball there's always something for somebody to do. So whenever Coach Tiemann and I are watching the game, we're not watching only where the ball is. We're also looking to see if the pitcher's backed up to throw, did he hit the proper cutoff, who's managing other runners that are on base, that sort of stuff. Give you a couple quick examples. In the second game, we had a back pick, a play where we picked a kid off at first base. A back pick, in this case, with bases loaded. Most teams are never going to even try that play. Tiemann and I both agree that it's critical that boys are confident in playing catch, so we're not afraid to throw the ball around the field. So most teams are not going to try to pick a kid off at first when they have a guy on second and third for the sake of possibly throwing the ball away. Well, if we can't throw and catch the baseball, then what the heck are we doing on the baseball field? We don't adhere to that strategy at all. We're not afraid, and we won't be afraid. And we do make bad throws every now and then. I know it's frustrating, but it's the only way to get better is to have 100% confidence that you can throw and catch the baseball. So as far as the mental side of that, we tried executing that play a number of times previously, and the pitcher would just get on the mound, get set, immediately throw over the first base. Well, the longer a pitcher stays set, comes to set position and sits there, and especially with bases loaded, the guy on first is just going to take another baby step and another baby step, and then he's going to start leaning towards second base, and he's prime for picking off. That's a timing play. Other examples are executing properly first and third scenarios with the catcher calling a proper pick play, the outfielder knowing which base to throw to prior to catching the baseball so they can come out firing. So it's all the mental stuff. In last night's practice, we actually played a game of t-ball. I set it up that way so we could start picking up on little details of what they were doing wrong while playing, all mental. So we had a couple players who didn't run when there's 2 outs and the ball made contact. We had players getting picked off and getting in rundowns when they shouldn't have. We had guys laying bunts down the third base line when we're trying to advance a runner from second to third, and it's on the tee, so you can literally push it whatever way you go. The bunt should go down the first base line. And so I had about 2 pages of notes in 6 innings of mental stuff that were missing. That's to be expected. The good news is most of the AA teams that we play, they don't have their fundamentals down. So we're already ahead of them. The stuff I'm talking about is what helps us win tournaments and get to the next level. So that's where we're at. This weekend when we're playing, you'll see me with the notepad. I'm taking notes on just mistakes because we're at that point now where we got to get into these boys' heads to get them advanced mentally. Which is going to translate to better performance and more wins. We look forward to seeing everybody this weekend and playing some great Renegade baseball. Have a great day. Bye-bye.